Hey everybody, it is your boy NCS7 and welcome to I guess you could say kind of a follow-up video to one of my previous videos that I made. So, a while back I made a video talking about Rockstar and how they were actually doing something right. Because of and not necessarily saying that they're a perfect company. Far from it, and you're gonna know in this video what I mean by that. But when they revealed that the GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition was going to be ported to Switch, I was really excited because having GTA on the Switch just sounded like the best thing ever. Even if it's the PS2 games, the PS2 games are still really, really good. So I was excited, and then the game released and it was kind of just a dumpster fire online. Seriously. They ended up removing it from the Rockstar launcher, from what I know, on PC. I don't know that completely because I didn't get the PC version, but I do know that they removed it for some point in time, and given what everyone is saying online about it, it has not gotten the best reputation, we'll put it at that. But I'm here today to kind of ask, is it really that bad? Is it over-exaggerated, or is it really that bad? Well, yes and no. So let's start off with the presentation. Now, the presentation is probably the biggest thing with this because this is a definitive version of the game and these are considered remasters, not demasters. Now, in terms of how the games look, I mean, I guess they look okay. They don't really look good as remasters. Seriously, modders have been able to do much more than this. And they don't really look that much better. And on the Switch's handheld mode screen, it's not if you just envision it as the original PS2 games, then it's not that big of an issue. But when you keep in mind this is supposed to be a remaster, yeah, it really disappoints. So yeah, visually, it's not good, at least when it comes to the graphics. Now, there is also one thing I've heard consistently about frame rate issues, and while it is true that there are frame rate issues, they're not necessarily as bad as people say, or I just haven't experienced them as much as other people have. Now, keep in mind, I've only really mostly played GTA 3. I've played a little bit of San Andreas and a little Vice City, but that's pretty much it. And GTA 3, honestly, isn't that bad on the Switch, even in handheld mode, but it's still not great. So visually, no. Now, I don't know about the other versions, but I can't expect that they're that good. And regarding the story, well, who plays GTA for story? Who plays it for the story? You play it for the game, and in terms of the game, most of the older PS2 GTA games, honestly, I don't really have a lot to say about the gameplay that I don't like, because the gameplay's still fine enough. You have the running and the stealing the cars and the shooting the cops and all the fun stuff we have. But yeah, there's really, honestly though, I will say one thing though regarding the shooting, and that it's very weird in GTA 3. This is before it went through a normal third-person perspective. It's just weird in this game. I don't know. Also, I feel like you could shoot someone in the head and it doesn't kill them. That I will never understand that. I kind of thought that a bullet to the head would kind of just mean instant death, but I guess not in this case. Honestly though, gameplay wise, it's about as good as the original PS2 games. There's not really too much of a difference, at least that I could tell. But keep in mind, I haven't really played a lot of the PS2 games, but I've played enough of them to understand how they're different. And in terms of the gameplay, well, it's not that different. Of course, not mentioning the frame rate issues. Although I have heard a lot of people talking about bugs and glitches and whatnot, I haven't really experienced that at all, so I guess I consider myself lucky, but I don't know. But gameplay-wise, it's fine, and control-wise, it's fine. And in terms of the content, here's where things get a little dicey. See, the game is being released for $60, and it contains, obviously, definitive, in quotes, versions of the PS2 trilogy. But here's the thing, though. Now this isn't the case for the Switch, but I believe on every other platform, before they made this Trilogy Definitive Edition, they did actually have the original PS2 games as downloadable games on, the PlayStation Store and I guess the Xbox Store and like Steam and whatnot. However, I believe they removed them once the Trilogy Definitive Edition popped up. That's what I've heard online, and not a good idea, especially considering you could put before with like the PS2 versions of the games, you could buy them for like $45 for all 3 games, possibly even less maybe. But here you get pay $60 for 3 games that don't work as well as they could be. And it's like, it's not the worst thing ever. You could still squeeze quite a bit of playtime out of the games. I mean, it's GTA. You could play the games for a long time, but it could be a lot better. It's not necessarily the content that's bad. The fact that it's $60, though, is a problem, given the fact that Rockstar didn't try. So, yeah. Content-wise, it's fine, but otherwise, nah. And in terms of the soundtrack, I mean, it's GTA, so does it really have a soundtrack? It's fine. Moving on. Now onto my final thoughts. I kind of rushed over to this because, honestly, when going through the categories for this review, there aren't really that many bad things, but it's when you look at stuff like the performance issues, the graphics not really being remastered, and also the occurrences of bugs and glitches everywhere. Well, okay, not everywhere, but they exist, goddammit. It's just really depressing, especially because it'd be one thing if this was a little screw up, but this is legitimately one of the few things that Rockstar has actually released that's somewhat different than just remastering GTA 5 over and over. Like, seriously. This basically tells me that with this game, Rockstar can basically do whatever they want. They have all the money in the world. GTA 5 was one of the biggest best-selling games ever made, and they let that money get to their head. They let the money get to their head so that they don't have to do any work ever again, and they could just release this trilogy of games that are pretty piss poor compared to what they should be. Seriously, when mods are better than this, that's a bad thing. Now, I know I was nice to the trilogy before, and to be honest, I don't think the trilogy of games on the Switch is like the worst thing ever. Like, it's still playable. It's just the fact of how Rockstar went about making these games, and just they knew they were trying to capitalize on people that had nostalgia for the PS2 games, and they wanted to, like, oh, I played the PS2 games, so I want to relive those memories and play like these definitive versions of the games that have remastered like graphics and also like enhanced gameplay. Enhanced gameplay, I don't really know what they mean by that. Or the graphics. But it's just so bland. It could be so much more, but I don't know. It's just not good. Now, I will ask this question. Do I think that this trilogy of remasters is worse than Super Mario 3D All-Stars? Yes. Yes, because at least with 3D All-Stars, it wasn't full of bugs and glitches. Now, yes, both games are not the best. But honestly, I still think 3D All-Stars, at least it has good versions of the games. I mean, granted, 64 is kind of a downgrade, considering you can't BLG in that version, but other than that, every other like Sunshine and Galaxy, well, not in handheld mode. Galaxy in handheld mode kind of sucks, but it's not that bad. I know it doesn't sound the best, but the thing is, I do genuinely think 3D All-Stars is okay. It's the way they went about it. But with, like, GTA, this trilogy of supposed remasters by Rockstar let the money get to their head, so they didn't have to try at all. And that's the depressing and frustrating reality of it all. And honestly, given what they've done here, I have no hope for the future from Rockstar. I have no hopes at all. I'm ready for GTA 5 Expanded and Enhanced to be nothing different than the PS4 version, possibly even worse than the PS4 version, and also for GTA 6 to never come out. Honestly though, if this is the kind of Rockstar that are making games right now, I don't even know if I want to see a GTA 6, because what if they screw up GTA 6 too? I don't know. Only time can really tell, but the future's not looking bright for Rockstar. So, I'm done with all this ramblingness. So, on my scale from 0 to 10, I give the GTA Trilogy Remastered Definitive Edition whatever thing a 6 out of 10. for the Switch version specifically. This trilogy could have been so much more. And don't get me wrong, I do think it's okay when you think about it as just being the PS2 versions of the games. But when these were supposed to be definitive versions of the games, it's just not, it just misses the mark by a wide margin. And honestly, I wouldn't recommend buying these because you can't, from what I know, you can't buy the games separately. You have to pay $60 for all 3 games. Even if you're not necessarily going to play all 3 games, if you want to just play San Andreas, you have to buy all 3 games. So I wouldn't really recommend it. I don't recommend anyone to buy it. Mostly because if you buy it, it really is just going to let Rockstar think, oh, they can get away with more stuff. But it's your call at the end of the day. I'm not your mother. But anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. I do apologize, it was kind of rambly. I just kind of wanted to rant about something off script, even though there never was a script in the first place. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. Hopefully you guys somewhat enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think of the GTA Trilogy Remaster Definitive Edition and Knuckles thing in the comment section. And if you want to see more GTA content from me, well, I guess subscribe, but I don't know how much more I'm going to do, because honestly, I don't really have ideas. But anyways, thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, everybody.